Hi, this is Shaun from Zadan, and today on the Brain Science Minute, we're going to look at new evidence that shows how different regions of our brain check up on each other and do self-monitoring. And we'll even hear a theory about why some of our bad ideas come out even when we don't want them to. The new study, published in the journal Neuron, is titled Spatial and Temporal Organization of the Individual Human Cerebellum. First, let's take a quick look at two regions of the brain, the cerebral cortex and the cerebellum. The cerebral cortex is one of the most famous regions of the brain. It is also the largest. It is involved in many things, including memory, attention, perception, cognition, awareness, thought, language, and even consciousness. The cerebellum, Latin for little brain, is most well known for its role in motor control, but also involved in cognition, attention, and language. In this animation, you can see the cerebellum in red underneath the cerebrum. This study highlights 4 key points related to the cerebellum and its relationship to the cerebral cortex. Individual-specific functional brain networks can be elucidated in the cerebellum. To put this more simply, everyone's brain shows different networks in the cerebellum. It is shown in this diagram from the study with each brain having a different shaped symbol, showing how different the setup of networks can be from one person's cerebellum to the next. Inter-individual variance in cerebellar functional networks exceeds that of the cortex. This means that more differences are seen in the cerebellum than in the cortex. And the next point says that it's more than twice as many. The fourth highlight shows that signals in the cerebellum are a few hundred milliseconds behind the ones in the cortex. These findings provide more evidence that the cerebellum is involved in controlling all cortical processes. The cerebellum seems to check to make sure that the cortex is keeping its thoughts in line with internal models. An article published in The Scientist equates this process with quality control for thoughts. And in that article, Scott Merrick, one of the authors of the study, is quoted as saying that the cerebellum has some sort of internal model about how the world should be, and if the signals are correct, great, the output goes out, but if not, then those signals get relayed back to the cerebral cortex to adjust the output. And as anyone who's had a few drinks knows, alcohol can affect the way people act, but also their inhibitions. It could be that since the cerebellum is known for motor control, and now being shown checking up on the cortex, it could be that alcohol affects this checking process. In the same article, Dozenbach, the researcher who led the study, said, "The cerebellum is extremely sensitive to alcohol," and added, "All the bad ideas drunk people have? That's probably failure of the cerebellum editing your thoughts." And if you want to hear the story of how this study started with late-night visits to the MRI machine, you can check out the article in The Scientist. Links to the article and study can be found in the description below.